This would be a lot easier if first aid was here.
Okay, to transform first aid into his combined arm mode, first we need to separate first aid from the front and the back. And it's not as simple as just open this up, push this button, and then pull. Yeah, if you follow those instructions, yeah, without being aware of everything I take the time to point out, yeah, you definitely might break something. So first of all, we need to get access to this button, because this is, you could see, this is kind of hard to pull out. So first, we need to basically kind of start like the transformation. So there's the mushroom tab that you need to lift up on this side. Lift it up, rotate it around and down, and do the same on the other side. This is kind of like the steps for the transformation. And then you need to separate these posts on the top, and on the side going this way there's a post going in to the hips as well. But basically you just grab the front and the back, and then you can see you untab that, and then that should allow you to now angle this side piece up, which hinges from here, and the post goes in here. So you just want to just do it slowly, carefully, a little bit, just to kind of open it up. And then that should now free up this piece, which I already explained it. There's a tab that goes in here, the little tab that goes underneath the cylindrical part of the tire, and then this piece needs to lift up off that crotch. So this is not as simple as just lift this up or push this in, lift up. You just need to be aware of the things I pointed out, especially when you're leveraging here, when the hinge is here, on all these delicate small parts that's using that plastic that's prone to breakage. And then you just slowly, carefully lift them both up. This side, just untab that, lift it up. And then you see now we have room to push this button, but be careful of this, because my palm is here. I don't want to accidentally break it. So you just need to be aware, like this piece, you don't want to accidentally break it by trying to push this. And then I'm going to point out the other issue here, and this is with X-Transbots. I noticed all their spring mechanisms, the tolerance is really tight, because you could see just pushing it is not enough to do it. And if you saw the review where someone was doing the quick transformation, he's using like a tool, and then boom, it opens up. That's yeah, you don't want to do it that way. So here I'm just trying to show you, or you can also try to figure out an easy way, but the main thing is you have to press really hard, and then be aware that you're applying force just to get this out right here. So you need to do that slowly and carefully, which is hard to do because you need to apply a lot of force here. And I told you, anytime you're using force, you're causing potential breakage in other areas. That's why I'm pointing out, be careful back here when you're doing this, all just to do this. And that's again because their tolerance for their spring mechanism is too tight. And just to get a better look, you can see, you know, it's an easy concept. It's just the spring in here, it's too tight, or actually maybe too long or something. I'm not sure about the springs. All I know is, yeah, it's too tight. But anyways, you could see we got these two separated, and then we need to close all this back up. So yeah, just do one at a time, very slowly and carefully. You are bending this way, bending the plastic and the hinges here. So just do this all slowly and carefully. And then you want to get that, make sure this is folded down, because this piece also goes in underneath the half cylindrical piece that holds the tire. Do it slowly, carefully. You could see, tab it in. This is kind of like the reverse transformation now. So here again, that little gap is for so room to push, bend the plastic here. You're bending the hinge area, and then you bring it down, and then you need to, well, this piece and it keeps coming up. So you need to make sure this is down, this is over. Now this tucks underneath that tire, cylindrical part of the tire. Slowly and carefully guide this, and this is where it gets hard because it's catching on the hip, so you need to apply force to push down, and then here. So I'm taking the time to point it all out to you so you can clearly understand. This is not as simple as just close this and that. Yeah, because that's how people break things. But now we got the two parts together. We could put that aside and then bring out the, I think it's the medic bed or something. And okay, so obviously first we need to fold up these arms, and there's no like real instructions. You just have to use all these hinges to, you know, collapse these all nice and small so you could fold this in. And then, yeah, like I said, I don't know any correct way to do that, but you just basically, yeah, use your intuitions to figure out how to fold this up and then rotate them and fold it in. And the most important thing I think to point out here is you need to make sure you have enough clearance here for this to go in, because you could see a line here and then these pieces. So I'm just saying you need to see, so you just need to make sure these pieces go in just enough where you have the room, because you can't have a little piece sticking out close to the edge here. And like I said, I don't know what the official way to transform it is, but it gets like really finicky here, trying to find a way to get that to all collapse in so that you have the room. Okay, we got that done. And then now we need to form defensor's chest. So you just bring this. So this is the position, the medic bed, after you put the arms in. Then fold this up, doesn't tab in, and then you bring this up all the way, and then you could see, let's come up some more. You could see now it's supposed to come down, but this type of plastic, it is a little bit thicker, but it's still, like, you can hear that high pitch. It's prone to stress fractures, crack and breakage, so always grab close to the joint. It is on a soft ratchet on a really nice die cast hydraulics there for detail, but it doesn't change the fact that you have to be very careful with this. And then this one, you don't want to accidentally bend this up, because that's what I did, and I kind of learned the hard way. I didn't break it. I already know, like, once I start feeling friction, to stop. And then look, I could see it doesn't, there's no hinge, doesn't go up. It's a screw, it rotates. So I'm trying to make the point clear. Make sure you always remember this rotates. This does not come up, because you don't want to accidentally forget that it doesn't go up. You're bending it and then you crack it. Don't do that. But because the way to get it open is actually the hinge here. So you could see this is the way it lifts up, not from down here. Okay, so now we got all of that done. And then it's pretty easy. You just find the 4 posts, 4 slots there. Just line those up, and then you tab it in. But you could see there's a little gap on the top. So actually, it helps if you get the top one in lined up first. You could see the little gap here. So get the two top ones first and then push down. And now you could see these are perfectly lined up nice and flush. And then the bottom one, you could see it's the same thing. There are those posts. So you just line these up and tab it in. And here you just give it a good squeeze. And these are all already nicely lined up. And then you just lift this up. These are going to, there's two tabs here, there's two slots there. So you just push it till you feel it lock in place. And then here, it doesn't lock in any place. So you just have to be aware of that and be careful when you're manipulating the hand. So again, always grab close to the joint. Slowly and carefully rotate the hand. And then, of course, you could have fun just articulating these nice fingers on these nicely toleranced digits. And then here, always go close to the joint. These do have really nice ratchets. It's just, yeah, my concern with this is when it's all combined all here, then you're trying to do this, it's wobbling all of the body over here. So I'm just pointing out, I think you always get close to the joints and then you can articulate it. And now you could see here is Devastator's arm. And I do like the way it looks. And like I already told you, okay, I go through the steps, the aesthetics, which is two parts, the, you know, how well they artistically design the aesthetics. And then the second part of the aesthetics is how well they capture the tune aesthetics. And then it's the form and function, how well they did that. And then the third one is the engineering. So, in terms of aesthetics, the way they, you know, artistically designed it, I mean, it does look nice. However, this is what's not good that I pointed out. The two different color blues here. You have a transparent blue and a painted blue. And if I'm not mistaken, I think the color shouldn't be blue. If anything, it should be closer to what Mastermind Creations did. It's a lighter color blue to be tune accurate. But I'm not going to nitpick the, you know, the how dark the blue is. But this is a major aesthetic issue that I told you. I mean, if you have this rectangle blue shape, why is it two different colors? Okay, I don't want to go on and on, but I think you understand my point there. So I think that's something that they should have thought out and worked a little bit better. And like I told you, with design, there's so many different ways to do it. And I'm telling you, I think it would have just been better to do it this way. A lighter blue. Don't have this nice transparent blue. Paint it lighter blue, paint this light, and then it would all be uniform. So then that would look a little bit better aesthetically. And then, you know, like I said, the shapes and proportions, really nice. The tune accuracy, like I said, yeah, it's close enough. I'll just say it that way. And then form and function, like I said, okay, well, first of all, let's just point out they do have a nice ratchet going up. They do have a ratchet for the bicep rotation. And then the shoulders is where it's a concern. And you have to somehow get close here. Because here, going up and down, yeah, tolerance is tight. So what does that mean? That means you're applying force to manipulate it, and you're applying force to, you know, not so strong quality plastic. So you just need to know it, be aware of it, and then just be careful how you're manipulating it, and it's okay. But I will point this out. I do like how it's tight, and I think that's why they made it tight, because you could see it does hold. But then how well is this going to hold attached to the body? Yeah, because I don't know. I'm just assuming here There's a mushroom tab on the front and the back, the front and the back on the bottom. So I know that that's probably going to be some support, but I don't know if that's strong enough to keep this holding like the way I'm holding it in order to keep it like this. And you could see it already is wibble wobbling, but there's some articulation there. And then this, I told you, I think is cool that the arm can go up a little bit. Yeah, but not so much. So you kind of have to turn this. You kind of have to lift the arm up. Okay, it's already untabbing all of this in order to engage this out motion. So it can basically go out, because you can see, let's slowly put this back, that this doesn't really have, he can't really lift his arm up unless you're using this piece as the arm to go up. So there's just some articulation, and that probably all of that should have been explained when you finally have Devastator completed. And then I'll just end real quick here, because this is pretty straightforward. Nice articulation with the fingers. It seems like all the companies making combiners, they do a nice job, because this is pretty simple, straightforward. I think it's just important to note, how much articulation you get, so you could flange out the fingers. You could see there's joints for each one of the individual digits. This one, I always laugh here, because it's like this goes up and down. So why do they design it where, it just rotates this way, or there's a hinge here, but you don't make it so it kind of goes up and down like here, this way. So you don't want to accidentally go like this and break it. But anyways, I'm being very thorough, and I'm just seeing how my reviews go this way, because these are the long reviews that I find very helpful. So with all that, now let's transform him. Well, let's just do this. Let's just transform back to his alt mode real quick, and then take a look at that. So here, like I told you, this is the scary part, because you need to remember the two tabs here. You need to slowly and carefully untab the two bottom pieces, and you need to do it carefully, because this piece is taking a lot of the stress from simply trying to untab this piece. And I'm already having some difficulty, just see, and that means I have to apply force, and anytime you're applying force, you're causing more tension in other areas. And yeah, this is doing this all on camera just so you could see. And this is, yeah, see, that's I guess that's good to point out, because that is a problem. And it's good that you saw how I'm trying to carefully do it. I'm not just encountering the resistance and applying force, because like I said, when you apply force, you need to be aware that you're causing stress and tension to other areas. And then this one's pretty straightforward. You just need to be careful where you're grabbing it. And then those 4 prongs that go in here, pull that out. And then this one, again, you have to always remember, this doesn't bend, this rotates. But actually, you need to fold up these hands sloppily, and then rotate it in, and then kind of, closing things up here. And then this side, these you just kind of pull up, and then you could pull forward on the top, and then that untabs, and then we can I think you know how this is pretty straightforward. Let's just fold that up, and then you just bring these arms out like so, making sure you have the room. And then this one, yeah, you need to be careful again, because I told you, look at, there's already resistance, and I told you that means I have to apply force. And when I apply force on this type of plastic, I might break it. So I'm doing it slowly, carefully, to avoid any potential breakage there. And then we got the medic bed here, which is kind of cool how they made the parts former turn into something useful. And then this one, you just, oh man, oh, do I really want to open this all up? Okay, I'll do it this way. I'll do the speed transformation to remember all this, open all this up, and then put this back in. So let's do this really quick.
Okay, after you slowly, carefully did all this, fighting all the resistance and being careful, these tabs, the tolerance things, because you can see it's already coming untapped right there. But the challenging part is you need to make sure these hips are straight, because it won't line up here. And then, like I said, you need to be very careful here. And this, because you're applying a lot of force here, so you need to be careful like where you're grabbing. And this, oh man, this is oh, see, now it just collapsed open. I guess that's good that this is all happening so you could see. So I guess you just leave it open. I guess this helps you to get a good grip, to be able to apply force to push this really tight spring. And then let's see how easily I can put this in at an angle to put this back. And I know a lot of other reviewers don't take the time to do this because this is a lot of work, a lot of time. And if this doesn't help, then, like I said, I don't know that I should continue to be making these kinds of videos. But here, you need to give it a good push. And yeah, it's always good maybe you see so that you could see that this is really not as easy as just, okay, now push this in. And then put this, attach this, kind of like the instructions that the other reviewers will give you if they don't even take the time to do more work to show you this. And like I said, you need to have it at an angle so you can have room and be able to see. You need to see, I don't like how I'm applying force to push it in. So this already, you can see this is not good engineering. It's the tolerance of this spring. So it needs to be pushed in all the way to get that to open. And I don't know any easier way to get this pushed in here. I need to get this pushed in. See, they only showed you the video how to push this open, but they don't show you how to put it back, which is what I'm doing here. Oh, man. See, once you got that, so now I'm glad that happened. So you can see that this is not easy. And then this is all kind of like the reverse transformation that, I already did. I don't know if it's worth, posting that, but, because it's a long video. And then we need to clean all this up. So, okay, let's just do the speed transformation to close this back up.
To be continued.